our TCS NQT coding question and answers for 2025 batch. As you all know that in the previous class we have discussed two coding questions that is asked in recent TCS NQT examination. So in this video we will be solving two previous year questions that is asked in TCS. So let's get started. So you can see this is you can follow this playlist for 2025 batch. Already we have created like updated pattern and syllabus. Like in the first class we have discussed two coding question, and let's start. Okay, so yeah, so first let me tell you like what are the important topics for TCS NQT examination for coding part. Just a second guys. Yeah, so like this is the most important topics for TCS NQT. Okay, so you can expect there will be there will be two question in coding section. Okay, there will be two question and you can expect question from easy to medium. Okay, so first question will be of type easy and second question you can expect of medium, because this year TCS has also introduced the prime profile. Okay, which is of 9.5 LPA. That's why the second question is very important. Like 70% of the people will able to solve the first question, but the main thing is you have to solve second question. Okay, and for digital at least you have to solve 1.5, and for prime at least you have to solve between 1 to 2. Again, this is totally dependent upon the TCS team, but on a safer side I would say solve at least 1.5 coding question. Okay, so these are the important topics for TCS NQT. You can expect question from basic mathematics, array, string, sorting, searching, matrix, collections and STL, recursion, dynamic programming and number system. Okay, so yeah, so let's start. So this is the first question of today's class. So this is the problem statement. First we will read out the problem statement. Given a string S consists of stars and hash, the length of the string is variable. The task is to find the minimum number of asterisk or hash to make a string valid. A string is considered to be valid if hash and star are equal. The hash and star can be at any position in the string. Okay, so there is one note. The output will be a positive integer based on number of star and hash in the given string. Okay, so this is the note for the output. Okay, so if my number of star is greater than number of hash, okay, then I need to print a positive integer. Print positive if my number of hash is greater than number of stars, then I have to print negative difference. Okay, and at the last, if number of hash is equals to number of star, then I have to print 0. Okay, so let's take for example. Okay, so you can see in the given string like the input string is hash and star. Okay, so in this string we have 3 hash. Okay, you can count. Okay, we have 3 hash and there will be like 1, 2 and 3 star. Okay, so you can see the number of hash is equals to number of star. That's why we need to print 0. So that's why the output will be 0 for this test case. Okay, so let's take one more example. So let's say our input string is hash star and star. Okay, so first we will count the number of hashes. The number of hashes are 2 and the number of star is 4. So this condition is true, that is number of star is greater than number of hash. You can see 4 greater than 2, then we have to print a positive number, that is difference between star and hash, that is 4 minus 2 is 2. So that's why the output for this test case is 2. Let's take one more example. So let's say our input is hash and star. Okay, we will count number of star and hashes in the given string. Okay, so you can see the number of hashes are 3 and the number of stars is 2. So this condition is true, that is 3 greater than 2, because number of hashes is greater than number of stars. Then we have to print a negative integer. So our output will be like 2 minus 3, that is minus 1. Okay, So this is the correct answer for this test case as well. So let's see how we can solve this question. Okay, so let's discuss like how we can solve this question. Okay, so in the input string we are given a number of like we are given a string of star and hash. Okay, so the first step is we will count number of star in the given string. The second step is same, we will count number of stars, and the third step is basically you can see we need there is three condition. If star greater than hash, then the result is positive. Okay, if my hash is greater than star, then the result is negative. Okay, and if my hash is equals to star, then the result will be 0. So you can see by seeing these condition, one thing is our final answer is equals to number of stars minus number of hashes. Okay, this is our final answer. Because so let's say this is our final answer, that is answer is equals to number of star minus number of hashes. This is our final answer, guys. Okay, so let's check whether it is working or not. Okay, so let's say we have this test case, star 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 and hash hash. Okay, so for this test case the output is positive 1 because number of stars is greater than number of hash, that is 3 minus 2, the result is 1. Let's take one more example, hash 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 and star. So for this test case the answer should be minus 2 because the number of hashes is greater than number of stars. You can see there are 3 hashes and the star is 1, so output is minus 2, which is also correct. Let's take the equal case. Let's say there are 3 hashes and 3 stars. So you can see number of hashes are 3 and number of stars is also 3. So 3 minus 3 is 0. Okay, so this is the correct formula which is working. So basically what you have to do is you have to first count the number of stars, then you have to count the number of hashes, then your final answer should be, you have to simply print the difference between star and hashes. Okay, so let's see the solution in Python. Okay, I will be implementing the same in Python, but I will provide the solution to C++ and Java in the description box. Okay, so let's see. First we will take input. Okay, I will take two variable, that is number of stars is equals to 0 and number of hashes is equals to 0. Okay, then I will traverse in the string for I in S. If my I is equals to star, okay, then I will simply increment number of stars plus equals to 1. Okay, if my current character is not a star, then I will increase number of hashes plus equals to 1. Okay, and at the last simply we have to print number of star minus number of hashes. Okay, so let's see whether our code is working or not. So let's take like star 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 and hash hash hash. So the correct output for this test case will be 0 because the number of hashes is equals to number of star. So you can see 0, we are getting the correct output. Let's take one more example, star 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 and hash hash. So the correct output for this test case will be 1 because the number of stars is greater than number of hashes. So you can see we are getting 1. Next we will check for negative also. So hash 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 and star star. So you can see we are getting -1 because number of hashes is greater than number of stars. Okay, so this is all about the first question. So let's discuss about the second question. Okay, so let's move on to the second question. Okay, so this is the question that is related to matrix. Okay, so this is the question related to matrix. Okay, and matrix is again a very important topics. Okay, So mostly like second question will be based upon the concept of matrix, subarrays, dynamic programming. Okay, it is of advanced DSA. Okay, so second question will be of medium type, and you can expect question from these topics. Okay, so let's first read out the question. A parking lot in a mall has r into cross number of parking spaces. Each parking space will either be empty, that is 0, or full, that is denoted by 1. The status of 0 1 of a parking space is represented as an element of the matrix. The task is to find the index of row in the parking lot that have most parking successes, that is full. Okay, the note given is r by c, that is the size of matrix. Elements of the matrix should be only 0 or 1. Here 0 denotes empty, okay, and 1 denotes the row is the current like you can say current car is parked in a lot. Okay, so these are the note. So let's see, there are you can see there are 3 rows and 3 columns. Okay, so you let's see the matrix. So 3 row and we have 3 columns. Okay, so we have 0 first 2 and 0 1 2. Okay, 3 by 3 matrix, and the elements are 0 1 0 1 1 0 and 1 1 and 1. Okay, here 0 denotes empty and 1 denotes full. Okay, and we need to count, we need to print the row which have the maximum number of parking spaces full. That is, we have to print a row which have maximum number of ones. You can see in the first row the number of ones are 1, in the second row the number of ones are 2, and in the third row the number of ones are 3. Okay, so you can see out of these the maximum is 3. That's why our output will be row 3. You can see I am taking here the indices is like from the 0 index. You can also take like one base indexing, that is 1 2 and 3. So here the output will be 3 because the third row will having the maximum number of car parked. Okay, so let's take one more example. So we have 4 number of rows and 3 number of columns. Okay, so let's draw the 1 2 3 columns and we have 4 rows, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, and the input is 0 1 0 1 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 and 1. Okay, so yeah, so this is our input matrix. You can see this is the first row, second row, third row, fourth row, first column, second column, third column. In the previous example I have taken 0 base indexing. You can also take 1 base indexing, that is not an issue. Okay, so you can like this is the 1 base indexing I am taking. Okay, so here the number of ones in the first row is 0, like there is number of ones are 2. In the second row the number of ones are 2s. In the third row the number of ones are 2s, and in the last row also the number of ones are 3. Okay, so you can see out of 1 2 2 3 the maximum is 3. That's why the correct output for this test case is 4. So let's see how we can solve this question. Okay, so let me open my whiteboard here. Okay, just a second guys. Okay, so we have like r into c column. Okay, r denotes the number of rows and c denotes number of columns. Okay, this is r cross c matrix. R denotes number of rows and c denotes number of columns. Okay, so let's say our input is like 3 by 3. We have 3 by 3 matrix, 1 0 1 1 1 1 and 1 0 1. Okay, this is first row, second row, third row. You can see the number of ones in the first row is 2. The number of ones in the second row is 3. The number of ones in the third row is 2. So you can see the maximum among 2 is 3. So that's why our output will be 2 is the correct answer for this test case. Okay, so how we can solve this question? So just a second guys. Okay, So the like how we can solve this question. Okay, what we will do is we will traverse each row. Okay, then we will count number of ones in each row. Okay, what I will do is I will start traversing, like let's say our matrix is something like this. Okay, okay, so I will start traversing each of the row and I will count the number of zeros, sorry, number of ones here, number of ones and number of ones. Okay, so let's say and then I will take a variable called answer and I will update answer to maximum of let's say I have stored a variable that is the max number of zeros, max of zeros and my current count of zeros. Okay, and in any case, like I will check if my previous count, is greater than the current count. Okay, so let me take here. So if my previous count, that is previous count of 1 is greater than the current count, sorry, my previous count is less than the current count. Okay, in that case I will update my answer to the current row, that is I plus 1, because the indexing start from 0, so that's why in the answer part we have to take I plus 1. Okay, if my current count, so let's say like this is the matrix, let's draw. Okay, so let's see, this is the input 0 1 0 1 1 1 and 1 0 0. Okay, so what we will do is we will start traversing in the first row. Okay, we will calculate number of ones are 2. Okay, so I will take a 2 variable, that is the previous count, that is initialized to 0 and my answer. Okay, I will initially my previous count is 0, I will check 0 greater than my current count, like my current count is greater than 0, so I will update my previous count to current. Okay, because 2 is greater than 0, so in my previous count I will store 2. Okay, so next I will move to second row. So in second row you can see the number of ones are 3. Okay, so the number of ones are 3, I will check my previous count is 2 and my current count is 3, so 3 greater than 2, so I will update my previous count to 3, and same I will update my answer to the row number, that is 0 1 and 2. I will update my row number plus 1, that is 1 plus 1, that is 2. Okay, now in the next step, what is the number of ones? Number of ones are 1. I will check if my current count, that is our previous count is 3 is greater than 1, so we will not do anything because our previous count is greater than our current count, that's why we will simply skip it. So at the last we will be simply printing the answer, which is our correct answer. Okay, so let me tell you again like what we are doing here. Okay, so we will start traversing like each row. In each row we will count the number of ones and number of stars, and if my previous count is less than the current count, then I will simply update my previous count to current count. Okay, and I will simply update my answer to I plus 1 because I am taking 0 base indexing. Else, if this condition is true, that is the previous count is less than current count, if it is true, then I will update the answer, and if it is not true, that is in that case I will simply do nothing. I will simply skip that path. Okay, so this is the solution of this question. So let's see how we can solve this question. Again, I am solving the question in Python, but I will provide the solution to C++ in Java after the live class. Okay, so let's take the sample input that is given in the question, that is 3 row and 3 number of columns. Okay, first we have to take a input of R, that is the number of rows, int of input, and number of columns is equals to int of input. Okay, then I have to take a matrix, okay, for I in range R. I will take a temporary list. Okay, so basically this is the input part. Okay, for j in range C, x is equals to int of input. Okay, tmp dot append x, and I will do matrix dot append tmp. Okay, so basically this is the input thing, and I will take up like again as I said in the solution, we will take previous count, that is initialized to 0, and my answer is also 0. Okay, so for I will traverse in the matrix for I in range R. Okay, my current count is equals to matrix of R dot count 1. Okay, so basically what I have done is this is the input part. Okay, I will take two variable, that is the previous count and my answer part. I will traverse in each of the row, and for each of the row, sorry, this will be I, sorry, so for each of the row I will count the number of ones. Okay, after counting, if my current count is greater than my previous count, okay, so simply I will update my previous count to current count, and I will update my answer to I plus 1. Okay, and at the last I'll be printing my answer that will contain the row which have maximum number of 1. Like let's discuss, like again I'm like explaining you once again. So this is the input part. Basically, like first I have taken RC as an input, then I have taken a matrix as an input. Okay, then I have taken two variables, that is the previous count and my answer. I have traversing for each of the row, and for each of the row I will count the number of ones in that particular row. If my current count is greater than the previous count, so simply we have to in my previous count I will assigning my current count, and in the answer part I will simply taking I plus 1. Why I am taking I plus 1? Because here the indexing start from 0, and you can see in the answer part that is the indexing start from 1. That's why I have taken I plus 1 here. Okay, that's why I am updating with I plus 1. Okay, if this condition is not true, then I will not do anything, because we do not need to update in that case. Okay, and at the last I will be printing the answer. So let's check. So let's see, 3 is the number of row, 3 is the number of column, 1 0 1 1 1 1 1 0 0. Okay, so you can see the correct output is 2 because the input matrix is something like this. Okay, so let me explain you here. Okay, so our input matrix is, I have taken a 3 by 3 matrix, that is 1 0 1 1 1 1 and 1 0 0. So you can see the row 2 have maximum number of ones, so that's why the output will be 2. So we are getting the correct output for this test case, that is 2. So yeah, so this is all about the TCS NQT previous year coding question. So stay tuned for more such videos, and please like, share and subscribe to the channel, because it's really give me a motivation to record the videos. And yeah, let's meet in the next section, and have a great day. Bye bye.